Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Thus traveling, I felt tired both bodily and mentally, and I was both thirsty and hungry. So I took a bath in a river, lake, and also drank water. By contacting water, I got relief from my exhaustion. Purport. A traveling mendicant can meet the needs of the body, namely thirst and hunger, by the gifts of nature, without being a beggar at the doors of the householders. The mendicant therefore does not go to the house of a householder to beg, but to enlighten him spiritually. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vachate Adesha Tarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasani Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Parishrantendriyatmaham tritparito bubhukshitaha snatva pitva hrade nadya upasprishto gata shamaha. Thus traveling, I felt tired, both bodily and mentally, and I was both thirsty and hungry. So I took a bath in a river lake and also drank water. By contacting water, I got relief from my exhaustion. The narration is continuing of how Narad Muni, after contacting the Bhakti Vedantas, the great devotees, set off on a journey after his mother was bitten by a snake and she left her body. So he was a young boy traveling, and by now he would already level of spiritual advancement. So he is narrating how he passed through all these different places, and Prabhupada is equating this in the purports, that one and this one also. He's speaking about sannyas, because he's taking this as on level of sannyas. How Narad Muni at that time, his name was different, was walking through all these different places but not attracted by the material external things in the civilization. He saw minerals, mines, etc. He didn't think for economic development. He was just thinking about spiritual realization. So now coming to this verse, and again Prabhupada is speaking in the purport about a traveling mendicant sannyas. So sannyasis are meant to travel and preach. There are different reasons for that. One is for the sannyasi himself to be not attached to any place, and another is also that people will get benefit of his knowledge and realization, because a whole life someone becomes generally people are attracted to material things, material sense gratification, and they make an elaborate arrangement for that. So people have some idea, at least in Vedic culture in India, that if someone is more detached from material things, it's a good thing. But maybe they may not be able to achieve that stage. So they have that idea that if someone has that, then we should try to get it from them. So the sannyas ashram is that they will share their realization, going to towns, villages, all everywhere, and thus benefit people. Thus they will also advance. And as Shastra says, lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. Even for lava means not even 1 second, but something like 1/12 of a second. That much association with the sadhu can give one all perfection. It can put the seed of devotion and thus begin their path of spiritual realization. And so the sannyasi goes from door to door, house, everywhere. And it's mentioned in many places, even in the first canto of Bhagavatam, when Vidura had come. Vidura, if we know the story, he had left the household of the Pandavas and the Kurus. Later he came back, and Prabhupada is explaining, actually Vidura had renounced. He had left, he had gone to different holy places, Vidura himself explained that. Now Vidura had come back, he didn't say why he came back. But Prabhupada is explaining, Vidura did not come back to enjoy the house or to meet people. He came back to tell Dhritarashtra, what are you still doing there? Why are you still here? At this age, and your whole life has passed, now it's nearing the end. Now you should engage fully in self-realization. So Vidura had come to share his realization with his elder brother, Dhritarashtra. And here again Prabhupada is saying, this is the reason a sannyasi will come to a home. The reason is to enlighten them. He's saying this, to enlighten them spiritually. The excuse is, okay, some bhiksha, rice, dal, milk, or some donation, etc. But the idea actually is to enlighten them. That is the whole reason there. We, in modern civilization, they make so much arrangements for material needs and wants. Not even needs, wants. They make a great arrangement for accommodation, clothing, food, and that's okay, that's basic. But then even more than that, there's so much arrangement people make, thinking this is essential, this is what we need, we need so many things. But in Vedic culture, the idea is that we have to live simply. We live simple living means saralta, simple. Simple living means that a person is not going to accumulate so many things. Actually, that has effect on our energy. When one has a lot of different possessions and a lot of wealth even, this affects them. It's an effect. But now traditionally what will happen is, if someone has wealth or things, then they use it in service of God. This was the system. And someone gets a lot of money, they'll build a temple. Prabhupada said even previously, people are pious, they'll build a temple or build a mosque or something when they got a lot of money, or somehow engage it in service of God. That idea was there. But if that is not done, then the excess wealth will bewilder us. The Kali Purusha, now Kali Yugas, the Kali Yuga age is here, and in this age Kali Purusha has his influence is felt. What is that? It's great effect of Tamogun and Rajagun on us. So Kali Purusha, when during the time of Parikshit Maharaj, when he came, actually he was meant to come, because when Krishna left, that was the time when Kali is meant to start. Krishna Swadhamo Bhagate Dharma Jnanadibi Saha. He took away Dharma and Jnana. So Kali came and the age started. But Parikshit Maharaj was spiritually powerful. He stopped him. He said, you cannot. He actually saw him and conversed with him. We cannot see. Where is he? We cannot see him. In Vedic culture, everything has a personality presiding over. Like when Ram wanted to cross the ocean, he spoke to the ocean, Varun. And Krishna, when his guru's son was lost, he came to the ocean. He heard that, okay, the son was lost because he was playing on the ocean of the shore of the ocean. So he came and sat in front of the ocean. That was somewhere now where it is now Dwarka area. He didn't do anything, he just sat there. But the ocean god knew, who is this? So he came out, how can I serve you? Where are the sons of my Guru? Why did you take them? I mean, you know the story after that, he got them back. So everything has a personality. Kali has a personality. Kali is a personality, and he has effect in Kali Yuga. The effect is that extreme Tamogun and Rajagun. Because of Tamogun, people are quarrelsome, not inclined to religion, so many things. Still it's good now, it's going to get very bad. So that time when Kali Purusha came, Parikshit Maharaj stopped him. Kali Purusha said, now I came here, I'm supposed to do my duty, you're stopping me, where shall I go? He said, not in my kingdom. You cannot enter my kingdom you go elsewhere. Then he said, but your kingdom is the whole planet. Where will I go? He said, okay, you can only reside in 4 places. And what, there's a 5th also. Reside wherever the 4 regulative principles are broken. For example, meat eating breaks compassion. Illicit relation with women, that breaks cleanliness. Cleanliness of the heart, cleanliness of the body. People become dirty hearted. Illicit connection with women, meat eating, then gambling. Where gambling happens, there, that destroys truth. To win in gambling, you have to be a cheater and a lower moral person. Gambling, what's that? Intoxication. Where intoxication is there, you can reside there. That breaks self-austerity and self-control is destroyed. These are 4 pillars of religion. Now without this, you cannot have religious principles. Whatever anybody says, religion will start when there is satya, doya, and this truth, cleanliness, shaucha and tapa. 4 principles where religion will stand. Otherwise, you cannot really have religion. Now, some people profess religion without that. That is sub-religious principles. They are taking you to a point where you can practice proper religion. But there must be these 4 things. So now, if these things are broken, then that is Kali. So, Kali is given that power to come there. So now, at that point, he said, okay, even these 4 things are not prevalent in your kingdom. He said, all right, then you can, 5th place is you can reside in gold, where there's a lot of gold. Now, this is also wealth, where there's a lot of wealth. Okay, so in one way, one is spiritually powerful, he'll get wealth and be able to use it for God consciousness. But if not, it will ruin us. And so, for example, Brahmins, they were always given charity, but they will immediately give out everything else and keep only what they need for that day, or whatever they need. They'll not accumulate. They understand. It will disturb their Brahmanatva, that potency of study of Shastra, spiritual intelligence, sense control. Everything will be destroyed. So this was there. Therefore, people understood this wealth. What was the position of wealth? Previously, when they got a lot of wealth, they'll use it in service of God, they'll use it somewhere. Srila Prabhupada said even our ISKCON temples, when a lot of money comes, immediately use half to buy books, the other half you can use for expenses, not half. He says that use it for your expenses, and whenever we get money, buy books. So that you think, now we need money, okay, sell the books. Preach, sell the books. That way people benefit, but not to accumulate money, even in temples, ISKCON temples. That will create corruption. So now, putting this in mind, sannyasis go house to house. Their idea is to enlighten. And the people being pious, they will give also dakshina. Actually, out of the three varnas, out of the 3 ashramas, only one accumulates wealth. One produces grain and wealth, that is the grahasthas. So brahmacharis, vanaprastha and sannyas, which are very few compared to grahasthas. They were meant to be supported by that. So we were saying that actually modern civilization now, they've put so many wants, which is not really required. And that we can see previously, even now, how someone can renounce and live very simply on very few possessions. That actually has effect on the mind. When we have a lot of possessions, it affects us, the mental strength. When we have very few things, then it helps us to apply ourselves more in spiritual practice. Saralta, simplicity, is important also. So gradually, even one who's having possessions, all that, it's not a disqualification, but finally then they had to come to vanaprastha, and again they had to reduce and wind down activities. But previously, because people spent time in the brahmachari ashram, and we are talking about the Rajrishis also, Arjun, Krishna, he spent time in the Gurukul. Everyone spent time in Gurukul, such that they got detachment. So even when they went into the life, they got all their possessions, got entangled in material things, but at heart they were still detached. They were able to detach, such that when the time came for Vanaprastha, it was possible. They could do it. Literally, we see now people cannot leave one little house, one car like that. Previously, they were ruling the whole planet, and they had the teams of servants, wealth. They had so many things, but they just walked out and went to the forest. Vanam gato yad harim ashrayata. Just Prahlad Maharaj advised. So they were able to just go out of the all their possessions. So now, somebody who is a sannyasi, they're meant to be on that level of realization of not being attracted to these things. And that's not an easy state. It's not even easy. Actually, till the time of death, risk is there. Because so even say from past lives we had association with things. So that can come and affect us. So generally, then sannyasis were told, okay, avoid rich people and women, and not only women, but men who are attached to women. And we heard this, that even worse than attachment to women is attachment to people who are attached to women. Prabhupada called them women hunters. Once Prabhupada said that the time came for him once, I got opportunity to go to London and study law in those days. So what had happened is, when he was born, when he appeared, his father took his horoscope, and there is written that he will cross the ocean and open 108 temples. So his father thought, better I prepare him for that. So he said, I'll teach him Mridanga, I'll teach him Bhajan. So when some of his relatives said, okay, we can finance him, he can go and study, he'll become a great person. And then he said, no, I won't, he'll become a woman hunter. And means, illicit relation with women and that. So one who is on the spiritual path, these two things are harmful. They may also be, even if they may be in the Grihastha ashram, but they're not, it's not like today. Previous Grihastha ashram was very spiritually elevated. They were living a life where they were simple, detached, very spiritual. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to quote a verse very often. Now let's see if you can remember it. Nivritta tarsher upagiyamana bhava aushada shrota mano virama no, that's not it. Bhagavad bhakti bhajan mukhasya param param jigameshor bhavasagarasya sandarshanam yoshitam sandarshanam vishaynam atha yoshitam cha ha hanta hanta vishay bhakshantu api asadhu. So this means that for a person who is jigameshor bhavasagarasya, who is trying to cross the ocean of materialism, nivritta tarsher upagiyamana bhava aushada shrota mano, that a person who is trying to cross the ocean of material suffering by hearing narrations of Hari, upagiyamana, nivritta, which remove all the bad qualities, kam, krodh, lobh, moha. So one who is hearing Bhagavad Katha, and who's on that path to cross the ocean of material suffering, sandarshanam, for such a person, seeing, actually, darshan means seeing, sandarshana means seeing, in Sanskrit much more subtle. Sang means something like complete or more. Sandarshana means something like observing with, not just seeing, but observing with, observe with great care, really looking deep. Sandarshanam vishaynam athayoshitam cha. For such a person, observing a vishayi. Vishayi means person addicted to sense gratification. That means his life dedicated, how am I going to enjoy my senses as much as possible. Sandarshanam vishaynam atha yoshitam, or a woman. Vishuddhamata Yoshitam Cha Ha Hanta Hanta Vishay Bakshinamapi Asadhu. It is worse than drinking poison for such a person. This was quoted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he quoted it when King Prataparudra wanted to meet him. He says, I cannot meet him. He's a Vishay, he's an enjoyer. Because anybody who was a king, kings would do these things. They were actually allowed. It was not, they had different principles. Kshatriyas had a big concession for these 4 principles, because I heard from one sannyasi that the reason is because their work was so intense and heavy that it would not be possible for a normal person to, we're going to manage the whole planet. How will you do that? How will you rule the planet? And establish the principles, fight the rogues, all these things. So there was some concession in that way. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't want to meet him. And then he quoted this verse, I cannot meet him. And later he met him when Prataparudra approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting some Bhagavatam verses, and coming, Mahaprabhu was lying down after being exhausted from Rath Yatra. So then he came, started chanting the verses, and Mahaprabhu, hearing Bhagavatam, became so happy. So okay, and at the same time he was massaging him, and he approached him, that way got his mercy, touched his feet, everything. So because actually what we understand, he was a great devotee, actually. So the sannyasi is supposed to be actually beyond these things, but as I said, the risk is always there. So they'll avoid. They will not stay in a house. Now Kali Yuga, it's different, things are different. But the rules are very strict. They'll not wear shoes, they'll not go in a car, And who broke the rules? Who started this? Prabhupada's guru. He was very austere. He spent 4 months chanting, I think 192 rounds per day, eating only once, wearing minimal clothing, living in a hut which was leaking. 4 months of Chaturmasya. He was very austere. He was not an enjoyer. He had for a large extent developed deep self-realization. But then he took sannyas and began preaching the mission. So at that time he went in a car, wore a watch, and everyone was criticizing. What kind of sannyasi are you? You're wearing a watch, you're going in a car, you're wearing shoes, wearing that English overcoat. So how can you do this? He said, I decided these things many lifetimes. He made a comment I couldn't understand fully. It's in Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav. It's something to the effect that for preaching Krishna Katha, I'm ready to do anything. So the thing is, because he dressed like this, and he had this impression, all the upper society of Kolkata was the most important city in India at that time. It was the capital of India. The British were there, and the upper class were ruling. I had a power influence. So he wanted to preach to them. They were called the Bhadralok. So he wanted, and when he did this, they all came to him. They were feeling, okay, we are comfortable to be with him. And he spoke Krishna Katha, preached to them, and spread Krishna consciousness. And Gaudiya Math spread and became the main religious system then. Britishers came, they attended his class. So anyway, the point was that it was very strict. But the sannyas ashram is very strict because of these, the fact that yes, purity is there, but we still have a material body. We don't know any time anything will come again and pull us back down. So the rules were observed very strictly. Except this, now the sannyas ashram is different from before. Actually, sannyas is not allowed in this age. But it was clarified that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, then he took sannyas. He appeared well in Kali Yuga. So why did he take? Mahaprabhu was showing how a devotee should be and how a sannyasi should be. So this sannyas, where we will use everything in service of God. Sannyasis now, for example, in ISKCON and some movements, they'll go in the car, they'll use the phone, everything for preaching Krishna consciousness. In that way, okay. But before that other system, we cannot do that. No, it's not possible. If you go bare feet and only wear one cloth, they'll not wear stitch cloth. They'll sleep only on the floor like this. That way the Kali Yuga jivas have bodies which are not able to do that. No, forget that. They're not able to do simple austerities in Kali Yuga. So actually, when one observes, for example, someone living very simply, then we can understand that actually we are able to live simply. It's possible. And it's possible, and not only that, but it gives such a benefit. We, of course, we live simply, but in the eyes of maybe common people, but if we go into the rural areas and traditional areas, it was much more. Once one of the parents of our members living with us in the ashram came to visit, not parents, relatives. They entered, and then one of the male members said, "Can we see around?" "Yes, welcome." So he went looking around, and he's looking. Then he got in panic. He went in one room, another room, and we looked at him. "What's wrong?" "Where are the beds?" We don't use beds. And he became a little disturbed by it. "Oh, why are you doing that?" There's no need to. So, but austerity and simplicity, there's a saying, is the wealth of a Brahmana also. Because a Brahmana lives simply and he's happy by little, and he doesn't need much, and he's able to be happy in a minimum circumstance. So tapasya and austerity is the wealth of a Brahmana. And by that, little by little, he can be satisfied. Where other people, so much they're not satisfied. So that is inculcated. But not only the renunciates, tyagis, but also anybody on the path of devotion, grihasthas also, they're enjoying to be simple, not live like others. Because Queen Kunti has said how 4 things can bewilder us, can make us bewildered and make us be difficult to practice bhakti. Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shribhi. Eda Mana, Mada Puman, Naivharatiya Vidhatu Vai, Tvam Akinchana Gocharaha. She says that Janma, one who has a very good birth. Good birth means born in some high position. Good birth. Janma, Aishwarya, wealth. Shruta, education, knowledge. Someone has a lot of knowledge. And Shri. Shri means very good looking. So these 4 things, Eda Mana, Mada. Mada means bewildered. One who becomes bewildered with these things. It's very difficult to approach you, Krishna. She was offering prayers to Krishna. So she said that, "Oh Krishna, anybody who has these 4 things, it becomes a big disqualification. It's difficult to approach you." Akinchana Gochara. And she uses a word which is now, because of Bhagavad, because of this verse, it's a famous word now. Krishna has many names. So this is another name. Akinchana Gochara. One who is approached, Gochara, approached by the materially impoverished. He has nothing. Akinchana. Kinchit means something. Akinchana means nothing. One who is easily approached by the materially impoverished. One who has nothing. So such a person can easily approach Krishna. Materially impoverished means not only wealth, but given up my position, given up my honor, prestige, given up my whatever, somehow I have degree, that giving up this idea, everything. So one who is not taking shelter of these things, who is not aspiring for that also, can easily come to Krishna. Tvam akinchana gocha. There's another way of looking at this. Somebody may have all these things, but be detached. This is rare, it's not so easy. But in that way also we can say that if he's thinking, this is not my will, this is Krishna's will, then also you can say he's not the possessor of that wealth. But this is very rare. You can, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in one purport, Prabhupada writes one who is a devotee and who gets money a lot, you should understand that it's not karma, but Krishna sending the money for him to serve Krishna. And because Krishna knows it will not be obstacle. Otherwise, many people, they'll come to bhakti, they lose their money. They know that, so they don't come. They don't approach Krishna. They'll approach Lord Shiva, they'll get money. Why would Krishna give money or wealth to a person, even he's praying? Or even sometimes, he's not only wealth, possessions, good health, a good job, he won't give it. Why? Because Krishna says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, a very famous verse, now I have to remember that shloka, it's Bengali, but he says, Ami Buddhiman, I am intelligent. My devotee is coming asking me for something which will take him away from me, I won't give it. Ami Buddhiman, I'm intelligent. I know it goes, I will not give it. So when we say that Krishna is called Hari, it means many things. One is, he takes your heart. Chitta Hari. He steals the heart. Other is, he'll steal your wealth. People know that aspect more than the previous. So they'll not approach Krishna and wish. They'll become afraid. Oh, my son is coming to Krishna. Hey, don't go so near. 1 hour you spend. Why are you spending so long, so much? And they get panic. Actually, it's true. But we get the wealth of Vaikuntha, isn't it? You give up this cheap wealth, tuchha, insignificant material wealth, but you get wealth of Krishna. Hara. That is Haratham Samsaram Jagannatha prayer. So, yes, Krishna will take it away. I personally know one devotee, he is here in Vellore. He had a rich trucking business, actually, yeah, trucks. He had a big trucking business, he was wealthy. He came into ISKCON, he's telling me. He said, whatever I could not keep the wealth in my hand, it was going every time. Slowly I became almost, you could say, poor, but I had enough. All the wealth left. But he became a good devotee. He had 2 sons, he sent them to Gurukul. Great, good for him. He got Diksha, and whole family is initiated, happily practicing. So it's a fact that to approach Krishna, one should be impoverished materially, but there are people they'll have and they'll not be attached. Then what do? Use it to serve Krishna, and Krishna knows that, so he'll give them. If he knows they'll not use it, he'll take it away. What we should do, we should just accept this is Krishna's plan for me. Sometimes he takes away reputation, whatever is obstacle, he'll take. And whatever is good, he'll keep it. Or he may give more, because Prabhupada explained, he must have been quoting a verse from Bhagavatam. Actually, it's in 11th canto, Uddhav Gita. That there is no one more famous than a devotee of Krishna. When one comes to bhakti, they become famous, and there is no one more happy. Now, fame, let's look at fame. People want to be famous and glorified, they want their name to be, build a hospital, name it after me, or a school, something memorial school, or some street, they want actually. And they leave a trust fund for something, they want to be known. So, still we cannot, if you go back 1-2 centuries, you will not know these people, who are they? Everyone will forget. But who do we remember? We remember Ambarish Maharaj. We'll never forget Arjun. We'll never forget these personalities. Some were simple, like Kolavecha Sridhar, selling banana leaf cups 500 years ago in Navadvip. Who will remember someone selling banana leaf cup and banana, Kolavecha, Kola means banana. He'll sell everything from banana, banana leaf, banana stem, because banana is a thing, it will grow anyway. Not now they put roads everywhere, concrete. But there was a time, banana, jackfruit, coconut is everywhere. So he'll just make money from that. You can imagine how much money he had. Nothing. That everyone has that. Still he'll get that and sell and get little money. So, but he was a great devotee of Ganga and basically Vishnu. So we know his name till now, but not no one else who was living there, normal materialists. So we can understand actual wealth, actual fame is for a devotee. That is, real wealth and fame is in the devotee. So one who's a sannyasi knows these things, and so he's able to give her the material thing. He knows the wealth of spirituality. So when we say that a sannyasi is given everything, no, he's got everything. He got Krishna Bhakti, he got Krishna. And those who were educated in Vedic culture, who knew, they could understand, this is the person we should glorify and honor. No, now who they'll glorify? Someone owning some big business, some startup. He'll be in the news everywhere for no reason. Why? He has a lot of money. So what? They'll glorify all these people. But previously people understood the wealth is vairagya and gyan, and he has it, so we have to get it. So we'll honor him. If he could give up that means he's experiencing something greater, so much greater. Therefore he's a sannyasi. And so that is actual wealth. So one who wants it, when the sannyasi comes to enlighten, they'll take that benefit and make their life perfect. So Vedic culture was taught to honor that. Now out of India, these things are not there anymore. Vedic culture was all over the world, now it's not. Now you can imagine what Srila Prabhupada did, that he went to the West, no one knew what is a sannyasi. Here they'll go, they'll respect you. There they'll think he's like me, what is different? Still, he went there to preach. That means he did not rely on his social status. The words coming from his mouth changed their heart. They could, on that basis, surrender and accept him. Hare Krishna. Any question?
Often we see, this is what I heard from one lecture by yesterday, that previously when all these sadhus, they used to be very austere and renounced life and not very much having any possessions. So that time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur taking this kind of get up of rich society kind of.
Yes.
So that was a shocking thing. But now this is now this is more common that sadhus tend to have so many of these possessions.
Yeah.
So people they tend to feel little turned off by that oh, these sadhus, they're just after money, and when they see someone like let's say some Babaji in Vrindavan, they are living very simply and they don't have any possessions. So then they will think, okay, these are real sadhus, they are not having any possessions and they are simply focused on God, not building big temples. So then how would you address such people, clarify the stance on this?
Yeah, you see the Babajis who are the Gaudiyas, they are following the 6 Goswamis who simply lived under a tree. They didn't even have a house or anything. So actually that is a good thing, actually. Austerity is good and simplicity. And we are followers of the Goswamis. So once someone asked Prabhupada, you're a follower of the Goswamis. Goswamis, they used to live under every tree. They just wore one kopen, loin cloth. So now you're building buildings and all these things, so much cars, so how to understand this. Then Prabhupada said, yeah, we are ready to live under the tree, but will you come and listen then? Will you come? They'll not come. So this is the idea. The idea is that now to enter into the society and live with them, we have to externally come and be accepted, and then they listen to our message. And we have to build things where they can come, If supposing someone doesn't wear shoes and just wears a uttari and no kurta and will sleep on the floor like that, then if he comes to the house, they'll chase him away as a beggar. No one will listen. It's a different society. So in this way, now Prabhupada explains, we should be well turned out, we should be neat, and we have to accept all these things for preaching. This is the important thing, for preaching. And we should endeavor not to be attached to them. And many times he said, more important than this is just distribute the books. He said, I don't want temples. Just distribute the books, propagate the mission, do Harinams. So this is the idea. For preaching, we'll accept it. Now, all glories for people who are living simply, very eating once a day and sitting and just chanting whole day, but also we need to preach to people for preaching. So for that reason, we are here.
Mahaprabhu asked to preach.
Yes, Mahaprabhu gave that order that Amaragya ihan tare desh. On my order, become a guru and preach. But not only guru, he said, I order everyone in this world to accept the fruit and spread it, distribute it. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Did the overheating message come again?